Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Elle. I do mostly bookish videos on a somewhat weekly basis. Today I am here to film the Anti TBR tag created by Nicole over on Nicole and Her Books. I will leave both her YouTube channel and the link to the original video down below in the description box. I thought this was a really fun and unique tag to do. I am a person who doesn't necessarily talk about the books that I don't enjoy, and I believe a lot of us talk primarily about the books and the authors that we love and enjoy. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to spill some tea. Let the tea spilling begin. Prompt number 1. A popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. There are a lot of books that I am just not interested in reading. But one that came to mind just because I saw it on my shelf before I started filming is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is obviously a really popular Netflix movie series that I absolutely love and enjoy. However, the books, I just have no interest in reading them. Fun fact, I was supposed to read the book with my boyfriend for a video series that I wanted to do a long time ago. My boyfriend actually read the book in its entirety. I am shocked. And I never even cracked open the book. Prompt 2, a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. Jane Austen. I know so many people on BookTube love her books, and I know a lot of them have been adapted into movies and TV series, but I just have no interest in reading her books at all. I received a retelling of Pride and Prejudice in a subscription book box, and I wasn't even interested in reading that. I don't know, just something about her books just turns me off. I don't even know what the premise of her books are, to be completely honest. Just for some reason, I have no interest in it. Question 3, and I know this is divided into kind of like 2 different questions that you can answer. I'm just going to answer question 3.2, and that is a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. And this is such an easy one, and I could give 2 really clear answers that came to my head like immediately, but I'm going to go with J.K. Rowling. She is the author of the Harry Potter books, and she is so openly aggressive and against transgender people, and I, first of all, do not stand for that at all, so I have no interest in supporting her or any of her books. Thankfully, I've never read the Harry Potter series, which is her most popular book series. I don't know anything else that she's written. Even as a kid, when everyone else was flocking to read the Harry Potter books, I never once was interested. I've never seen the movies, never read the books. Since I started my channel, I kept saying that I was going to. Thankfully, I did not. I have no regrets about that. And yeah, I just have zero interest in reading anything from J.K. Rowling, and I don't think anyone else should, but that's just me. Prompt number 4, an author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. And for this, I have to pick Sean McGuire, or they have also written under the name Mira Grant. I have read Middle Game, which is published under their name Sean McGuire, but I have also read Into the Drowning Deep, I believe, which is published under their pen name Mira Grant. I gave both of these books like either a 3 or 3.5 stars, and I think their books are objectively good, but they are so sciencey heavy, or just really technical term heavy, and I'm sorry, but my brain is probably the size of a pea. I found it really hard to get through both of the books. There were elements that I enjoyed in both of them, but for the most part, I just feel like their books are not for me just because of all of the technical science aspects of their books that they like to include. I do think they are fantastic books. I think they are a fantastic writer. It's just not for me. 5, a genre you have no interest in, or a genre you tried to get into and couldn't. And for me, I have to go with horror, and there is nothing wrong with the horror genre. I am just a complete coward. I don't think I have ever read like a true horror novel, nor do I have plans to, because your girl is a chicken, and if I read a horror novel, I'm gonna be up for a week straight. A book you have bought but will never read. This can be a book you have unhauled or returned to the library unread. So this is not necessarily a book that I will never read. I try to be pretty conscious about the books that I'm buying or the books that I'm borrowing from the library. I don't like to get books that I don't think I'm going to read. Also, I usually make the effort to read books, especially if they're books that I have purchased. Books that I borrow from the library, I always read because I always make sure to get a book that I'm going to read. But there is one book on my shelf that has been unread for about a year and a half or so. And every time I'm picking a new book, I always scan over this book. I avoid this book. I do think I'm going to read it at some point, but I think it is an honorable mention because I do avoid it. And that is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. And I know this is a really popular book, or at least from booktubers that I follow on both YouTube and Twitter. I feel like this is a really popular series. However, I believe it's told in alternating timelines, and that really turns me off just because that just sounds confusing. I feel like I'm going to get lost in the timelines. So for that reason, I've really stayed away from this book. Again, I do plan to eventually read this, but I have noticed that I tend to stay away and I don't pick it up even though I know it's a book that I need to read. If you see me on Twitter asking for book recommendations, someone yell at me to read this book. 7, a series you have no interest in reading or a series you started and have DNF'd. The Hunger Games. I know. The Hunger Games is such a popular book series. It's a popular movie series. I know so many people on BookTube and Book Twitter who absolutely love this book. It is their childhood for them. I honestly can't think of a single person that I know of who doesn't love this series, but it is one that I have zero interest in reading. Zero. I don't care for it. I don't care for the books. I don't care for the movies. I don't know. I just feel like that's also just because dystopian isn't something that I like to read very much of. And I know this is a super popular one, so don't come for me in the comments. Finally, prompt a new release you have no interest in reading. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one is making the rounds on BookTube. I know it has like some supernatural aspect or something and the devil or a version of the devil, but it's one that I see and it's like I have no interest in reading this, honestly. I don't care for it much. I watched Mayana's rant review and it just didn't seem like something that I would enjoy. Even before her rant, I didn't have any intentions of reading it, but then after watching her video, it just further confirmed that it probably wouldn't be something that I would enjoy. And that was the Anti TBR tag. I love short little fun tags like this, especially like little juicier tags like this where we talk about books that we don't enjoy. Obviously, this is not meant to be taken super seriously. If any of these books or authors are your absolute total faves, good for you. Continue to support them and read them. That's completely up to you. These are just my own personal opinions. I'm not coming for you. I'm still gonna be your friend. I never know who to tag because I don't want to double tag someone. So if you're watching this and you also want to spill a little bit of tea, then please go ahead and do this tag. Let me know that you've done it, and also don't forget to tag Nicole, the original creator of this tag. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Elle. Go check out Nicole's channel and I'll see you in next time's video.